gonna get off the pot, damn it! Are you listening in there? You can't be hogging the facilities for 40 damn minutes. You ought to see Ellie. You got a condition or something.
Hey, Cap. Oh, that's just Frida. She's the first rapt I ever killed. I had her preserved. It had been when I was a kid, so something on the order of 20 years. My parents were very proud. Oh, sure. Once in a while I've got to bury her and come back later. She's a big girl, tough to lug around. But she's been with me a while, so... Her. And of course, she's a great conversationalist. Never argues, never judges. Hey, Cap. Oh, sure. Felix is a riot. The other day he asked if mannequins lay eggs. I told him they lay eggs in people, and there ain't no cure. I could bust into swarms at any moment. The look on his face, it was great. You know, one time, Opal and I, shit. Look at me dredging up bygone days. Forget I said anything. I will. Hey, Cap.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret working. So,
Our fuel cells are now primed with Alta Vitae gas. As the organics say, let us hope we do not explode in transit to the groundbreaker. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Certainly, Captain. What would you like? I wish I was your second derivative, so I could investigate your concavities. As you wish. What part of the... Where in Monarch? Ah, Monarch. The armpit of the Halcyon... It's sublight run for the purpose of shipping contraband, and before you ask, I don't know the coordinates, so... May luck be with you. We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself, or would you like to do the honors?
I'd clap you on the shoulder if I weren't behind a wall of bulletproof glass. I don't know how you did it, but Hiram Blythe just sent me everything I needed. According to Hiram's message, Minister Clark has ordered a suspicious amount of dimethyl sulfoxide. It's almost as if he's hoarding the colony's remaining supply. Typical elitist, hoarding supplies during a time of scarcity. Once I have those chemicals, we can revive the Hope's colonists and put some decent people in charge. So, good news. You're going to Byzantium and stealing those chemicals. Exciting. Aloysius Clark, Minister of Earth. Virtually every colony requires the presence of a Minister of Earth. Clark is complicit in every one of the board's crimes. Whenever the board issues some new decree, you'll find Clark's signature on the dotted line. If I had time and several blackboards, I could explain the details to you, but to put it briefly, dimethyl sulfoxide is the reason you're alive today. The chemical is absolutely essential to reviving the Hope's colonists. I need you to steal as much as you possibly can. The more, the better. If you don't bring me enough chemicals, I might not be able to save the Hope's colonists, and then nothing will stop the board from destroying this colony. Ah, yes, the details. I'm not about to ask you to rampage through Byzantium trading bullets with the board's agents. We'll have to resort to subterfuge. Carmen Imagawa. She's my contact in Byzantium. Meet her at the docks. She'll have all the necessary intelligence you require. I'm giving you my old nav key to Byzantium. You'll need it to land in the Golden City. Remember, you're looking for dimethyl sulfoxide. Big green bubbling vessel with a warning label. I'll take as much as you can find. You can trust her if that's what you're asking. Imagawa is is the finest special agent in Byzantium that money can buy. My money, anyway. Of course, of course. What's on your mind? I've heard those iconoclasts have a rather smashing opinion of you. Get it? Smashing? Iconoclasts? Oh, never mind. What's on your mind?
I understand we have decided to continue supporting the outlaw scientist, Dr. Phineas Wells. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? What part of the colony? Byzantium is reputed to be the cream of the crop of Halcyon's residents. We're sure to stick out like a sore thumb. Yes. Byzantium is the crown jewel of Halcyon. All the colony's opulence, elegance, and decadence is concentrated in this single city. To say its inhabitants are immensely and disproportionately well-to-do would be an understatement. Colloquially referred to as gold-bloods, most of Byzantium's dwellers will never step outside the city's walls. Conversely, for many Halcyon colonists, the city is a faraway dream. I am sorry to report, Captain. The Minister of Earth has fallen ill, again, and will have to postpone his goodwill tour of the colony. Yes. Noted, Captain. I shall endeavor to be more, as the humans say, chatty in the future. According to Colony News, he's suffering from an outbreak of cystipox and has been quarantined for public safety. The Minister is expected to make a full recovery and resume working closely with the Chairman of the Board soon. However, I find it of note that in the past 52 cycles, the Minister has been reported ill 27 times, suffering from 10 different ailments. Take care. I require a functioning captain to run the ship. Captain, I'm receiving an urgent docking request from another vessel.
Greetings from the Halcyon Parcel Service. Delivery is guaranteed within standard margins of certainty. I've got a special delivery for Alex Hawthorne of the Unreliable. With your permission, I'll see it transferred to your ship. It's a parcel, ma'am. This is the Halcyon Parcel Service. We don't deal in packages. I am contractually obligated to deliver my cargo to the captain of the Unreliable under pain of fines, imprisonment, and censure by my superiors. That's the HPS difference for you. Service with civility. Stand by, Captain Hawthorne. An HPS certified distribution technician has deposited the parcel into your cargo hold in accordance with hazardous waste disposal procedures. They dispense 3 complimentary spritzes of Anti-Cleo's Citrus Squirt Air Freshener. That's the HPS touch for you, Captain Hawthorne. On behalf of HPS, I'd like to remind you that HPS is not responsible for any damage, defacement, or unseemliness to your parcel. Thank you for your patience. And please remember HPS for all of your future parcel-related needs.
Who ordered the bottles of Raptidon musk? One has broken.
Hawthorne, if you're getting this, something's happened to me. Got mixed up in some shady business on Gorgon. Should have known better. But I landed on something big. And now this job's an itch I can't stop scratching. There's a whole research compound left of the Sprats. I think I'm close to figuring out why. But something dangerous is closer to me. Got the job through one Minnie Ambrose. Top runger who just came into some money, was offering a hefty bid card for qualified help. Trust me, her money's good. Talk to Minnie. Take the job. If I ain't gonna live to see the payday, might as well be you. Consider us even, old pal.
Well, that fellow certainly seemed trustworthy.
I've gotten jobs from some unusual sources, but this is a first. Congratulations, Captain.
I don't mean to sound prim, Captain, but there's gotta be a better way to ask someone to do you a favor.
I just want to say, we gotta take this job. This is the closest I ever been to starring in a serial drama. Only thing we're missing is a couple cameras and a soundtrack.
At least this won't be boring.
Lucky Montoya owed Captain Hawthorne a considerable debt. I believe this is what humans refer to as payback. Captain, the message contains landing coordinates for a small asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. It was recently registered to a Wilhelmina Ambrose.
Now, I, for one, was hoping to do the exact opposite of that.
What? Do you want to shake its hand?
Yeah, can we talk about the arm? I want to take bets on how the guy lost it. My money's on cannibals.
That ain't really that fella's arm, right? It's gotta be a dummy. Or a toy?
Well, I'm not cleaning it up.
Cleanup service request processed. Disposal of human arm from the Unreliable's cargo hold will commence in the immediate future.
Simulating disgust. How distasteful. Humans eat there. I'm not touching it. Etc. Lucky Montoya had a statistically significant tendency to encounter situations of extreme danger.
Well, yeah, I doubt this guy lost his arm filling out paperwork.
He was also the fourth best paid freelancer in the system. There are several hundred freelancers operating in Halcyon. Considering the numbers, Mr. Montoya ranked among the top percentile. This had less correlation with his measured aptitudes, which rank at or below average, than with a pattern of fortunate circumstances. Based on the condition of the limb, I calculate a 92.7% chance that Mr. Montoya expired from his injuries. There's what humans colloquially call a sprat's chance in a mantisaur's den. That is a very low chance, Captain. I have transferred the coordinates for Ambrose Manor to your navigation terminal. We can travel there when you are ready.
Hawthorne, if you're getting this, something's happened to me. Got mixed up in some shady business on Gorgon. Should have known better. But I...
What's on your mind?
Rizzo's purple berry fudge. A salt sour candy shell aromas.
You should give our latest product a try. Holly Holly Toxi-Free. Now with activated charcoal. Don't take my word for it. Have a look.
CNP pancake mix. Now requires no mixing. Seriously, don't mix it.
Got any leads on salvage? It doesn't even have to be broke yet. We'll take anything.
Hope you find some good salvage out there. Or if you can't find some, make some. Swell. Has anyone from HR given you the new employee talk? I don't actually know. That answers for both questions. Here goes. Welcome to Sublight, where salvage runs thicker than blood. We're still trying out new slogans. Sublight, because what's your alternative? Hey, that's not a bad slogan. Thanks. Glad to have you on board. We could use the help after what happened to the last contractor. No, I didn't. Oh, that. Just stay on Miss Lilya's good side. Stealing office supplies is a good way to end up as salvage, if you know what I mean. Knew you were a smart gal. That's a good question. Yes? Yes, that sounds right. I'll make sure to include that in the new employee salvage tutorial.
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint. 120-some cubic meters of it, at 1,000,000 bits a pop. Take this. You've earned it. When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in. You're goddamn right. Monarch isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor. No one you saw, anyway. Glad to see you're looking out for yourself. You've been keeping busy. I hear you took on some extra work at Fallbrook. Catherine says the factory needs some repairs before it's back to working order, but at least it's under our control. Hey, when you were at the slaughterhouse, those swine didn't give you any strange looks, did they? I knew it. I'm probably getting worked up over nothing. Just try not to think about pigs. You never know, you know? I've got a lot on my mind, but it's nothing that concerns you. At least, not yet. I have another job lined up, assuming you're still interested in work. You're gonna salvage me a space station. Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. cobwebs and all. Interested?
Oh, sure. That sounds like a real easy job.
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain. Right now, it's only salvage on paper. Systems and comms have gone dark. Poke around if you're curious why. While the board lets 1084 gather dust, you're gonna swoop in and plant Sublight's flag. Perfectly legit, perfectly legal. Not this time. The board tolerates our business up to a point, and selling off a station full of their old gear and terminals crosses that point. But if we were to move in and commandeer the station as a Sublight salvage remote office, that's a different matter. Legally gray by comparison. More of a squatter situation. Here, this override bypass should get you into the station's systems where you can plant my flag. And one last thing. When you get there, make sure you aren't followed. We wouldn't want that. Glad we understand each other. I'm on the heels of something big. Play your cards right and I'll clue you in, but right now, I'm not sure who I can trust. Just be careful. Someone might try and use you to get to me. Don't forget about the research station. A score this big comes once a career, and only if you're lucky. I'd like you to commandeer it on behalf of Sublight Salvage. Plant my company's flag, so to speak. We'll do the rest. My time's yours. Try not to waste it. No, of course not. Why? What have you heard? What did they tell you? Good. That means you're listening. This is all very complicated, but you should watch out, in general. Don't trust anyone, including me. I'll say this. When you're on a job, if you find yourself confronted with something your mind can't quite process, don't try and fight it. You just run. Understand? That's good. With any luck, we won't need to bring this up again. No kidding. The board sure wanted that place kept secret, and not just because of the pricey salvage. Huh. That's new. When the board wants to experiment on colonists, they usually just release an exclusive line of products. It takes deep pockets to move a research staff off-world. I'd bet you my desk they were mixing more than just soft drink flavors. Wow, that sounds spooky as fuck. And frankly, I'm a little jealous. Damn, now I've got to see that for myself. Morbid curiosity gets the better of me every time. Be careful out there, contractor. Don't step on any toes unless you're ready for a fight.
I got no clue what half the junk on this desk is for, except the lamp. Improvised weapon.
CMP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast. Ringo's Frenzo vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Impressive as always.
Work fortifies the spirit.
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please.
Somebody's been rambling about some colony ship. Wonder what that's about.
Trouble incoming, Captain. Air test. Our survival.
Score, Cap!
Don't mess with us!
I'd wager this is the outpost. Rebecca! Anders! Come on out!
Here we go! That's the last of them.
Hey, take a gander. The door's busted. Rebecca? Anders? You in there?
Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old locks so as they don't open anymore. But we've only ever done that if we're in a real bind. Here, I'll fix it.
Oh no. Oh no. What did you do?
This is an unfortunate sight indeed. My condolences.
I don't... They were... That bitch! They were all set to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you. The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses. Or to leave your medallions to rot with you, but Clara would want to be buried with her sister.
At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them to being dashed across the stars. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back home. I think I'm glad. If she were still alive now, it'd break her to know the truth. Yeah, maybe. I'm used to disappointment. She was still so naive as to let it hurt her every time it happened. Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the Mana Queen out of our old base. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her soil. I'd wager the stench of a primal might do the trick. That'd be boring. Half the fun in exploring is the fact that you're on an unknown trail. I've never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Scylla. Let's tear a few apart, shall we? I'm sure they've got pheromones. Everything does. That queen ain't gonna go down easy. I can't wait. What's up? Sure. Right now, I'm feeling like a canid following a trail of treats. Like I'm being misled at best. At worst, walking into a trap. Keep those eyes open, Captain. What's up?
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts? Perhaps it's just my judicious nature, but I think we should be careful if we're following up on this lucky fellow's message. I've always felt caution as the best approach when one has delivered a message attached to a severed limb. Well, all we have to go on is that overly dramatic message, but I think it's safe to say this lucky fellow's upper story is lacking in the gray matter department. It doesn't strike me as a setup, but I still advise caution. Why not? It is what we do, isn't it? I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain?
Got my sights on you.
I definitely won that round.
You always seem to, huh?
That's because I'm usually right.
Next time I work the scorecard.
Sometimes I wonder about Mr. Hawthorne. What was he like? Why'd he make the computer a talkie? You think he got lonely, flying about on his own? It's a shame about what happened to that lucky fella. Maybe finishing what he started will help put his spirit to rest. Not a word. And I've been sticking my nose in every one of our stately ladies' crannies, stem to stern. Oh, law! That sounds untoward, don't it? That ain't what I meant. Point is, Captain, Mr. Hawthorne left all kinds of scribblings behind panels and under consoles, but ain't a lick of it mentioned Mr. Lucky. So whatever they got up to in the past must have been really extra secret. And lots of fun. It sure is lonely out here on the edge of the colony. Anything could happen, and ain't no one gonna come to help us. Alrighty. You change your mind, you just holler. You know, whoever wired this ship up had no idea what they were doing.
So, we're just gonna march straight into Byzantium and acquire some rare chemicals right under the board's nose? I sure hope you negotiated for a raise with this Phineas guy. Ever notice how this job gets bigger and more dangerous every time he calls in? He's asking a lot, Captain. Makes me wonder what your angle is. That's one way of looking at it. Another is that he pulled you out of hibernation without your say-so and got you to do his dirty work. Besides, none of this is your mess, so why go dirtying your hands with it? Guess I hadn't looked at it that way. Still, Phineas isn't your only option. The board's put a bounty on his head, and they've got more than enough bits to pay it. I've got no love for the corporations, but they know how to take care of their people. The ones at the top, anyway. Don't think of it as being a lackey. Think of it as doing a job and getting paid really, really well. I know you want to save the day, but don't forget to look after yourself. No one else out here's going to. Hey, don't get any ideas. I'm just making sure you last long enough to pay me at the end of this. Anything else? If there's one thing you could say about Lucky Montoya, he was always at the center of a story. Guess this is fitting. Sure, like Ada said, he was a big name among freelancers. I met him at Lost Hope once. He was buying rounds for everyone and telling a story about one of his jobs. Pretty sure half of it was made up. You ever get the feeling someone's just trying too hard? I'm gonna ignore that bit of subtext, Captain. There was just something about Montoya I couldn't quite trust. He was always the center of a room, and he slapped a lot of backs to stay there. Yeah. I'm trying to say that if he screwed this job up, that's on him. I still like our odds. He may have had a rep, but you're more capable than he ever was. Yeah, well, just remember that when we get paid. What's on your mind? From his arm? The decay makes it hard to tell. Could be a lot of things. Torn off by something with big teeth, torn off by something with big claws, torn off by someone with a moderately sharp blade. Or maybe he just got too close to heavy machinery. Sure. Something on your mind?
To return in one piece, Captain.
What's on your mind?
All right, hushing up.
Hey, you. Looking for something? Where do you think you're going? Yeah. The captain said we might be getting a new recruit. That you, then?
Sounds like Clyde's jumping to conclusions, but yeah, I'm Felix.
You're on a first-name basis with Captain Harlow, huh? All right, go on through. Got my sights on you. Got my sights on you.
Nothing to do but stand around and watch the stars go by. If the board comes after us, we'll be ready. You here to join the crew? Hey, Felix. Harlow said you'd be here. Got my sights on you.
board comes after us, we'll be ready.
Harlow's right. Board's days are numbered. Nothing to do but stand around and watch the stars go by. If the board comes after us, we'll be ready.
Been ages since we had a good haul. No freighters, no jobs, no contracts for weeks. Just standing around kicking rocks. You hear the joint? Hey, Felix. Harlow said you'd be here. Got my sights up. Harlow's right. Board's days are numbered. What do you think you're doing? All right, scram.
Well, hey there, Hullhead. Clawed your way out of the groundbreaker at long last?
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, were you expecting me to say something? Maybe a long time no see, or a you've aged, old man?
captain has a sense of humor, Felix. Good. There's a time and place for humor. So, you took Felix under your wing. Kept him busy. Good. Kid always needed a place to belong.
Felix is, a vital member of our crew. He's... well, he's good in a fight.
Hear that, Clyde? I've been making something out of myself.
So long as you haven't been making a fool of yourself. I'm sure Felix has no end of stories to tell of your exploits together. I look forward to catching up with the boy. I imagine he has. I was a mentor to the boy during his formative years. You might say I have an elder brotherly interest in his development.
Oh, would have been nice to know that sometime in the last, hang on, doing some math? Half a decade?
I'm working on something. Something big. Something the likes of which Halcyon has never seen. And I want Felix to be a part of my initiative. I'm fulfilling a promise I made to the boy, that one day, he and I would change the colony together. That day has finally arrived.
Easy there, Clyde. No one said nothing about throwing in with you. In case you didn't notice, I'm pretty happy where I am.
I'm not asking you to walk away from your captain, Felix. But neither should you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Change is not to be feared. I brought you here because I want to know where Felix's loyalties lie. When the day of our revolution comes, I want to know that I can rely on him.
Boss, seriously?
Well then, if Felix proves himself to me, I should be more than happy to take him off your hands. I want you to deal with a traitor for me. Name's Trask. Kill him, and bring me proof of his death. His ring should do nicely. Ratted us out to the board. He's been an informant. Has been for years. When he realized I was onto him, he and his little cadre mutinied. Killed 5 of my own and tucked tail. I don't know where he's hiding, but his wife might. Rosanna. Lives on the Groundbreaker last I checked. Rosanna knows my crew by name and face, but you're a stranger to her. She'll talk to you. Is that right? Well then, suppose that changes things. Trask betrays my crew and by pure happenstance crosses orbits with you. The universe has a strange sense of irony. I don't see the point in testing Felix any further. If he's willing, there's a place for him in my crew.
I don't know about this, boss. You've been real good to me. I'm not too keen on jumping ship. Yeah. Okay. I had a good time, you know. Saw the system, got in a couple scrapes. Which is why I'm staying. You were good to me, Clyde, once upon a day. But you disappeared on me, and I've moved on.
Are you sure about this, Felix? I'm not giving you a second chance. Turn me down now, and you're not getting back in my crew.
You can keep your crew. I've got a family.
Then I suppose there's nothing more left to be said. Goodbye, Captain. I doubt we'll cross orbits again.
Boss, when we get back to the ship, I'd like a word with you.
Take good care of Felix, Captain. Take good care of Felix, Captain. Take good care of Felix, Captain.
Trask was a turncoat, colony better off without him. Carla's in the habit of rambling, pay it no mind. Kyle's was a turncoat. Colony's better off without him.
Got my sights on you.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who keeps ordering these?
We need to talk. Listen, boss. I owe you an apology. I got stupid. Clyde wanted me on his crew, and I jumped at the shot. You took a chance with me back on the Groundbreaker. I should have shown you a little more loyalty. Nah, Clyde wasn't important. Knowing you can count on me, that's important. There was something else on my mind, honestly. I've been trying to make sense of all this business with Clyde and Trask. Something about this whole affair leaves a bitter taste. Yeah, I was. I just didn't expect to have to prove myself. I guess you're right. Maybe I have been clinging to the past. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess for a couple of days. Part of me wishes Trask was still around, just so I could shake some more answers out of him. Thanks for your time, boss. Good to see you, boss. So we just sat around a table talking about a severed arm. Of all the weird things that happened on this ship, that ranks somewhere in the middle. You ever watch The Masked Marketeer? Episode 5 of The Masked Marketeer. First appearance of a recurring villain. Big old galoot, built like one of those industrial-class garbage compressors.
His name? Tiny. Every adventure serial's gotta have a supporting character with an ironical name. It's a rule of the Genry. Mass Marketeer had a massive bruiser named Tiny, and we got ourselves a real unfortunate hullhead named Lucky. Coincidence? I think not. Not yet, we're not. We keep picking up jobs like this, and somebody's bound to make a serial about us. We're freelancers. We take any job we can get. But this one? The dying message of a stranger. A severed hand delivered in a crate. Let's just say it beats flying around the colony running errands. So, of course, I'm gonna be excited. Hey, I get it. Gotta hand it to me. Severed hand. Haha, that's what you were going for, right? That wasn't what you were going for. Yep, I can tell by the way you're glaring at me. Yeah, boss?
Don't hate me for saying this, but maybe I was wrong about Harlow.
Captain, I can't stop thinking about that business with Harlow. I was sure he had an angle. I'm not used to being wrong. People look out for their own interests. It's a fundamental law of nature, same as gravity and conservation of motion. This is why I hate metaphors. Look, I see a lot of people, inside and out. When you get down to it, we're all made of the same stuff. Once you accept that, nothing much surprises you. I'm warning you, that reverse psychology stuff doesn't work on me. Sure do. And unlike you, Captain, the rest of us don't get a big fancy room with wall-to-wall windows. But let's forget about that, please. Anyway, you really want to tell me you're helping the scientist because you think he'll save the colony? And here I thought I'd seen it all. This galaxy must be bigger than I'd thought. Speaking of lost causes, there's something I've been meaning to get around to. I haven't actually talked to my folks in a while. Shocking, right? Anyway, it's probably about time I paid them a visit. Given the dangerous life I lead, they've got to be worried sick. Which brings us to where we are today. Several messages and a few years late. See, I'm originally from Byzantium, born and raised. I know that probably comes as a big surprise. But I worked so hard. I dropped the accent, picked up a swagger, developed a taste for Spacer's Choice. Huh. Well, I bet they won't know the difference. I bet they'll barely recognize me. Reconnect is a strong word. And, I was thinking you'd come too. Because it would be fun? Of course not. I mean, not unless you want to bring a feral canid or a mantis on a leash. That'd make a real impression. It's, well... They know me as Marilyn the Surgeon. They don't know Ellie the Pirate Sawbones. But you, you're authentic rabble. True riffraff. When they see you, they'll get it. I only wish I could pull it off as well. Great. And when we get there, draw out your rough edges a bit. If you've got an outfit you haven't washed in a while, maybe one with some blood stains, wear that one. Oh, and help yourself to the good snacks and put your feet on the coffee table. Mother hates that. That's the idea. Anything else? It's like one of those stuffy art gallery pieces. Looks okay from far off, but once you get close, you realize it's just some mismatched shit everyone's agreed to overpay for. Even the bribes are overpriced. The real question is, why didn't I leave sooner? There's all these invisible rules, and everyone spends all their energy just trying not to break them. I was a top-tier surgeon, but I could hardly open a pack of gauze without 10 people signing off first. Now you see why I left. People call Byzantium the jewel of Halcyon, but really, it's just paste. Everything's polish and bureaucracy. Take a close look and you'll see it's deader than anywhere else in the colony. Don't trust anyone, don't touch anything, and whatever you do, don't show your teeth when you smile. What, like primals? Nah. People are extremely competitive about cosmetic dentistry. It can get ugly. Interesting like a colonoscopy. I trained as a surgeon. More my folks' idea than mine, but I made the best of it. Lots of them, unfortunately. I even sculpted a few. Turns out Byzantines are more concerned with having square shoulders and a good profile than, well, anything else. The real question... There's all these... Call it what you want, it sucks. I was a top... Easy to say when you've never had to ask permission to take a piss. People call Byzantium everything... That's what I've been saying.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who keeps ordering these? Destination reached. Scylla.
Does it?
destroy me. And that's how it's done, Captain?
What have the solar winds deposited on my doorstep now? Just more dirt and debris? Or do you actually believe you are here seeking the truth? I must admit, I tire of the truth seekers. Mayhaps you're here to rob me? That would be so much more exciting. Not much, but you are free to take whatever you wish. Please leave me a few morsels of food, though. I may not eat a lot, but I still do need to eat.
We are not here to rob you. I've brought this book for you to translate for me. We've been told this was once yours. I believe the knowledge within here contains the answers I seek. Answers that will free men's minds from toil.
I can translate it, but it won't do you any good. I can see you are a man in a hurry, and the insights in that book would take you years of study to fully comprehend.
I've spent my life in contemplation. I believe my mind is prepared to receive the truth.
There is one way that can speed up the process. It involves a combination of several ingredients, some of which can be fatal. It is not for the faint of heart or the unprepared. Either hallucinations followed by unconsciousness and a headache, or raving insanity, which can be fun in its own way. A crass way to put it, but yes, chemicals that can expand or destroy the participant's consciousness. And I believe he may be right. There is both violence and peace warring inside you, Max. This process would be extremely tenuous for one such as yourself.
I'm committed, no matter the cost.
Well, shit. We've come this far. If we die, at least we'll die hearing colors and seeing sound.
All right. Head on into the meditation room and partake of the sacramental incense. It's waiting on the table when you're ready to begin. Still meandering about? Last-minute questions, perhaps? There's not much to tell. The process forces us to face our fears, those things which keep us from the truth, but only if we're prepared to see them. You came to me. I did not seek you out. Besides, cleaning up bodies is so time-consuming, And there's my bad back to consider.
I have dreamed of this moment for years. Soon, the answers will be in my hands. I have dreamed...
What's up?
Poor Maximilian. Maximilian, why are you still doing this? You've been fighting against the world since before you left home. Haven't you figured out yet that the more you fight, the more pain you cause yourself?
Mother, you're dead. You can't be here. I knew this was too good to be true. These are just cheap hallucinogens that have... What's happening to my voice? Does my voice sound weird to you? And what's wrong with your face?
My face? What's wrong with your face? Where'd you get that second mouth? I want a second mouth.
We are obviously the victims of a tasteless joke being perpetuated. Perpetrated? I mean, we're being made fools of, aren't we? When I get out of here, I'm going to show that hermit what you get for messing with me.
Maximilian, always ready to give up, to lash out, always searching for answers, but always in the wrong place, never looking inside himself.
What in the void do you expect him to find inside himself? It's just blood and squishy bits and... Oh no. If I vomit on you, I want you to know I ain't sorry.
And platitudes from a figment of my imagination, no less.
Who said I wasn't a figment of your mind? But you know the truth. You don't need someone else to tell you. You've always known it. Everyone knows it. They just won't see it. We're overwhelmed with stories from our earliest days. The stories others tell us, and the stories we tell ourselves. These stories are how we try to make sense of our lives, but they are not real, are they? They're just stories. You need to drop your story and see the truth.
I could tell you all manner of stories. If I weren't... I'm sticking to alcohol from now on.
If you insist, you must give up your fantasy of control and embrace the chaos of life. Whether you resist or not, it will take you wherever it wants, more assuredly than even the fictional architects plan your slave away to prove.
No, that's not true. The basis of everything is order, not chaos. It's true, I know it is. So did you. Why are you denying it? Before you died, the plan made you happy.
No, it didn't. I made myself happy. There's nothing holding you back but you. If you can't understand that, you will never understand anything. Goodbye, Maximilian.
This whole thing, it's just a farce, right? Just my own brain working against me? You couldn't be more right. Hello, Max. What? Who? Why do you look like me? Are you me? Not really. I'm who you think you are. I am disciplined, controlled. I have no doubts. And I don't exist. Yet you have judged yourself against me your whole life. Why? Why do you berate yourself for not being me? What are you talking about? I can do that.
Don't regret taking us on.
I see you're back with us. Feared we lost you there. Never seen anyone pass out yet stay upright before. I woke up. The illusions I built for myself just fell away. I'm no longer interpreting, I'm experiencing. Everything is perfect. No, not perfect in that sense. But it is still perfect. It's all there to be experienced, to be lived. Of course there is pain and loss, but the suffering is caused by trying to control reality, clinging to the way you want things to be, not enjoying the way they are. I am content. I've finally found what I was looking for, even though I was looking for the wrong thing. Mother? What's... nothing?
Maximilian.
It doesn't matter. This is all just a figment of my imagination.
Who said I wasn't? We're over these.
I could tell.
You're right. I don't need this. I just want the answers I seek, not your games. The plan is everything. Following it is what made you and Father happy.
No.
This whole thing, you couldn't... Hello, Max? What? Not really. Why? I don't feel right about this anymore. I need to get out of here. You asked for this. Why are you fighting it? The same reason you always do. Fear of the unknown. Not having control. Is this the answer? Because it sure sounded like an answer that I don't understand. Who are you again? And why do you look like me?
Oh no. Ooh, no. One uptight holier-than-thou preacher man is enough of a hassle. Now we got two. Time to go, Captain, before it gets worse.
He's not looking for the truth. He's looking for a new way to organize reality in his head. A new story of the happy you, the contented you. Me. That's not... It can't be right. I've only been searching for the answer to the equation, because it will set us free, won't it? How? By removing the need to make any decision. To have your life completely controlled. The illusion of certainty. Your obsession allowed you to avoid the real question. Who are you? I'm Max. Me! I'm real. You can't convince me otherwise. Please don't convince me I'm not. Your individual self is what's not real. It is simply a concept. By the architect. Architect? How could I have believed in an architect? That's ridiculous. I must be losing my mind completely. What you're saying almost makes sense. We exist inside our thoughts, thinking we're in control. That's it, isn't it? We have no control over anything. It's all lies. How could I not have seen this? But how do we escape ourselves? I see you're back with us. Feared we lost you there. Never seen anyone pass out yet. Ruined? You seem to be having quite the time. Though I must admit I was a bit concerned when you stripped naked and tried to eat your clothes. I was joking. You passed out fairly early in the process. Well before I realized what an ignorant fool I've been. Everything. In a way. Perhaps it's more accurate to say I was asking the wrong questions. I understand so much more now. I see it all. All there is to be experienced, to be lived. Of course there is... I am content. Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts? I wouldn't say my parents disowned me, strictly speaking. But before they died, they accused me of thoughtlessly abandoning them. I couldn't understand it. I was only trying to make them proud by becoming a better vessel for the plan, to feel the joy they felt. I was so certain my potential was wasted as a laborer. and was willing to risk everything just to prove to them that they were wrong. I was lost, misguided.
What's up?
So, have you found your answers?
Not so much found as finally listened.
Yes, it is quite the convoluted maze we build for ourselves. It looks like you learned something in there as well.
Of course you were.
I hope your answers you have found are satisfactory. Not really. If they're satisfactory, they must be lies. I hope your answers you have found...
As always, anything... I used to believe their religion to be false, in contradiction to what I knew to be true. How pompous and sure of myself I was. Their basic tenets were closer to the truth than my own cherished beliefs. Yes? The plan is not one rigid path. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. It's like...
So enjoy it for sure. Down they go. Don't mess with us. Come. Like this. Everyone
What's up? Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon. Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon. He said it was some old myth, something about death and all the things we killed. Rest of us just thought it sounded cool, so here we are. It's an old cave system we tried to turn into an encampment. You'll see when we get there. Fucking right we are. Hey, if we die in that cave, I just want to say thanks anyway. For everything. What's up?
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. Something...
Adjusting before you call. You're anticipating it. You...
Of course I'm anticipating it. What if I shoot a friend on accident?
That's on account of your stance. You want to lean into it. Embrace it. Work with it. You're in control here, our body, not the gun. Don't let a hunk of metal jerk you around. You've been around powerful machinery all your life. You're always in control, right?
I guess that's kind of like when the filler's shooting 600 cans of near molten cell tuna down the conveyor while I'm trying to tune a belt.
Here, stand like me. Just so. Hip square. Lean forward a little. It's just equipment. You're just an engineer using it.
Ah!
Okay. We'll try again later. You'll get it. I promise.
I could probably spend years fixing this boat, stem to stern.